For today's anniversary, we also have various Philippine Navy assets on display. This exhibition highlights the milestone of the Philippine Navy Modernization Program, featuring advanced integrated technologies alongside representations of our upgraded surface fleet.
It also showcases our enhanced maritime defense capabilities, including modern deterrence platforms, advanced aerial reconnaissance systems, and various other multi-domain assets that demonstrate the growing strength of our naval, air, and amphibious force. Please remain standing for the entry of the official party. Philippine Fleet.
Philippine Navy.
Armed Forces of the Philippines.
Republic of the Philippines.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines and the Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Our distinguished government officials, sailors, Marines, civilian human resource, and guests, we are gathered today for the 128th Philippine Navy anniversary. We commemorate this event with this year's theme, Philippine Navy at 128, makabago at handa, malakas at matatag, maaasahang hukbong dagat ng bansa.
In line with the Philippine Navy's vision of a modern, multi-domain, self-reliant, and credible maritime force, part of today's Philippine Navy anniversary celebration is the commissioning of BRP Rajah Lakandula PS21.
The commanding officer of BRP Rajah Lakandula PS21, Commander Abram R. Tagino at Philippine Navy GSC, will now render their completeness and readiness report to the Flag Officer in Command, Philippine Navy.
Ginoo, ang mga pinuno at tauang nakatalaga sa barko ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Rajah Lakandula PS21, narito ang lahat po na pag-alaman. Handa na po sa sermonyang pagkukomisyon.
The Flag Officer in Command, Philippine Navy, will render same report to our Commander-in-Chief, AFP. After receiving the report, the Commander-in-Chief, AFP, will now order for the commissioning of the Philippine Navy vessel.
The Naval Adjutant, Captain Joseph C. Galvez, Philippine Navy GSC, will now read the commissioning orders of the vessel.
Punong Himpilan, Hukbong Dagat ng Pilipinas, Headquarters, Philippine Navy, Naval Station Jose Andrada. Pursuant to General Orders Number 256, published on 08 June 2026, barko ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Rajah Lakandula, PS21, is hereby commissioned into the service of the Philippine Navy, effective 09 June 2026, by command of Vice Admiral Espeleta.
Up sa likod. Up!
We shall now witness the first hoisting of commissioning pennants, national ensign, jack flag, and the full dressing of BRP Rajah Lakandula, PS21.
Ugay kamay. Ha!
Please remain standing for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Kaliwa kamay. Rap sa likod. Rap.
May we request the Commander-in-Chief, AFP, and the official party to remain standing. The audience may now be seated.
The commanding officer will render a report to the flag officer in command, Philippine Navy, that BRP Rajah Lakandula PS21 has now been commissioned and added to the inventory of readily deployable vessels of the Philippine Navy.
Ginoo, barko ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Rajah Lakandula PS21 ay ganap na pong nakomisyon.
The flag officer in command, Philippine Navy, will render same report to our Commander-in-Chief, AFP. After receiving the report, the Commander-in-Chief, AFP, will now order for the traditional setting of the watch.
Itakda ang pagtatanod. Cut!
BRP Rajah Lakandula, PS21, will now render Sideboys honors to His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President of the Republic of the Philippines. Sideboys honors is a naval tradition where a team of uniformed sailors forms two parallel lines along a ship's quarterdeck or gangway to welcome or bid farewell to distinguished visitors, officials, or seniors. The number of sideboys corresponds to the visitor's rank to show the level of prestige.
BRP Rajah Lakandula PS21 is the second offshore patrol vessel added to the inventory of the Philippine Navy assets. The steel coating of PS21 commenced last 20 September 2024 at Hyundai Heavy Industries in Ulsan, South Korea, marking the formal start of the vessel's construction.
Her keel laying ceremony was conducted last 22 December 2024 at HDHHI Shipbuilding Facility, signifying the official start of major hull assembly. Construction of the vessel was completed by 02 June 2025. By 20 November 2025, she was launched at HD Hyundai Heavy Industries.
PS21 departed from South Korea last 30 April 2026 and arrived at Philippine waters on 04 May 2026. She was formally welcomed to the country through a passing exercise with BRP Jose Rizal, FFG-14, the Philippine Navy's flagship. She was christened last 26 May 2026 at Naval Operating Base Subic, Zambales, and will be under the administrative control of the Offshore Combat Force.
This offshore patrol vessel bears the name of a great Filipino leader and defender of our people, Rajah Lakandula. He was the last Rajah of Tondo, one of the most powerful kingdoms along the Pasig River prior to the arrival of the Spanish colonizers. Known for his courage, wisdom, and leadership, Rajah Lakandula worked to protect the interests of his people during a time of great change and uncertainty. As a noble ruler of Tondo, he maintained strong trade relations with neighboring kingdoms and played a vital role in the defense and stability of his domain. Despite the growing influence of foreign powers, he stood as a symbol of dignity, unity, and resistance among the early Filipinos. Rajah Lakandula's legacy continues to inspire generations of Filipinos through his patriotism, leadership, and commitment to his people. This ship and her crew now carry his name, his legacy, and his spirit into every mission they shall undertake.
PS21 is designed to perform maritime security, territorial defense, and sustained patrol operations across the country's vast maritime domain. She is capable of conducting maritime patrol, maritime interdiction, search and rescue operations, humanitarian assistance, and disaster response, as well as supporting law enforcement and EEZ protection missions.
PS21 has a length of 94.5 meters, a breadth of 14.3 meters, and a displacement of 2,400 tons. She has a maximum speed of up to 22 knots and an extended operational range suitable for prolonged maritime operations. She is also equipped with 2 rigid hull inflatable boats and a flight deck capable of accommodating a naval helicopter or unmanned aerial vehicle.
She is equipped with a 76mm naval gun as her main armament, remote-controlled secondary gun systems, modern navigation and communication systems, air and surface search radar, and other mission-essential equipment necessary for maritime security and surveillance operations. Her capabilities enable the Philippine Navy to enhance its maritime domain awareness, protect its territorial waters, and support joint maritime operations.
The President, the Commander-in-Chief, AFP, and the official party will now proceed back to the ceremonial area. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines and Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Please remain standing for the anniversary proper to start with the invocation to be delivered by Colonel Stephen A. Penetrante, Chaplain Service, GSC.
Let us dispose our hearts and our minds in the holy presence of God. Let us pray. Gracious God, sanctify this momentous event as we celebrate the 120th Philippine Navy's anniversary on its historical journey of dedicated service to our maritime nation. With His Excellency President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., the President of the Republic of the Philippines and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Bless our President and the governance of our country. Through the years, you guided the Philippine Navy amidst the triumphs, the accomplishments, and challenges. We lift up to you our leadership, committed officers, sailors, Marines, reservists, civilian human resources, and stakeholders. Aid us to remain hopefully dedicated to the mission, firm in our resolve to meet the expectations of our nation. We pray for your gracious spirit, sustain our efforts, and shelter us in the shadow of your almighty hand as we sail onward through time, guardians of our sovereign maritime nation. All this we ask in the holy name of your Son, our Lord and our Redeemer. Amen.
Please be seated.
To formally welcome us in today's event and to give his anniversary message, ladies and gentlemen, the Flag Officer in Command of Philippine Navy, Vice Admiral Jose Ma Ambrosio Q. Espeleta, Philippine Navy.
Let me first greet our guest of honor and speaker, His Excellency Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., sir, President, Republic of the Philippines, and our Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Philippines. To the Ambassador of South Korea to the Philippines, to the National Security Advisor, Undersecretary, Department of National Defense, to the Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Major Service Commanders and Law Enforcement Chiefs, Flag and General Officers, former Flag Officers in command of the Philippine Navy, members of the Foreign Armed Forces Attaché Corps, members of our Board of Advisors, senior enlisted leaders, sailors, Marines, civilian human resources, and reservists of Team Philippine Navy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a good Navy morning to everyone. Una sa lahat, lubos akong nagpapasalamat sa ating Commander-in-Chief sa walang sawang pagsuporta at tiwala sa inyong hukbong dagat. Totoo po, sa inyong malinaw na hangaring dalhin ang ating minamahal na bayan tungo sa isang bagong Pilipinas, Kami pong nasa hukbong dagat ang isa sa mga naunang nakarandam ng inyong malasakit at patnubay bilang aming Commander-in-Chief. Nasasabi ko po ito sapagkat hindi biro ang misyong nakaatang sa aming mga balikat. Ang pangalagaan at ipagtanggol ang ating bansa, isang archipelagic nation kung tawagin. Sa kabila ng samut-saring banta at pagsubok, malinaw po naming nararamdaman bilang mga mandaragat at mandirigma ang inyong matibay na tiwala sa aming kakayahan. As the flag officer in command, I indeed take pride in what we have achieved. Success after success, we have shown what we can do as a unified branch of our armed forces. It is my honor to share the highlights of the Philippine Navy in the last year, which would not have been possible if not for our Commander-in-Chief's vision and guidance, and the support of our S&D and our Chief of Staff, and undoubtedly the readiness and bravery of the men and women of the Philippine Navy. With your permission, sir, allow me now to share the progress of your Philippine Navy under the banner Bagong Pilipinas. The naval assets we have acquired have helped critically augment our frontline forces. Notably, we had the commissioning of the barko ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Miguel Malvar and Diego Silang, our most modern and most sophisticated gray ships. We have likewise had commissioned today the BRP Rajah Lakandula, and for this year, the following key assets: BRP Rajah Sulaiman, BRP Albert Magini, and BRP Audrey Banyares, all of which have strengthened our capability to better patrol and secure our maritime domain. Remarkably, we have also seen the delivery of the much-awaited BrahMos shore-based anti-ship missile, a milestone for not just our Navy, but for the whole armed forces. Furthermore, Mr. President, I am pleased to update on the continuous development of our respective unmanned system projects for both air, surface, and undersea warfare systems. These systems were advanced in partnership with technological universities of Cebu and Iligan. More notably, we have now further developed locally a cost-effective UAS, or unmanned aerial system, to support our intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance operations, with some of our platforms able to deploy as far as 120 kilometers. All this comes in line with our continuous investment in our Navy's Undersea Capability Development Program, pushing even further to become a modern and respected maritime force ready to contribute to the security shared with our neighbors in the region and our own waters. Supporting our forces at the front lines and in various capacities, we have also secured and upgraded different systems in our Navy. Foremost is the enhancement of our Naval Intelligence Management Information System. Add to this is the procurement of ICT equipment for cybersecurity, as well as separate systems for command and control and maritime domain awareness, all towards making our Navy more adaptable and mission-ready. This comes hand in hand with our previously reported activation of naval monitoring stations. Mr. President, your drive to see to it that our forces are equipped and cared for have clearly translated to mission accomplished and objectives achieved, felt and appreciated by our countrymen. In 2025, through the first quarter of 2026, we conducted over 6,620 naval missions, translating to notably covering 972,233.27 nautical miles of surface operations missions, with a total of 152,288 hours of steaming time. These missions have strengthened our assertion of our sovereignty, protecting our territorial integrity, just as we work to uphold the rule of law within our own borders. In terms of air operations, we have accumulated over 1,500 missions, with a total of 4,142 hours of naval air patrols, covering over 500,000 nautical miles. all towards making sure we carry out the mission of maritime domain awareness to secure the information much needed to react to threats and craft policy that redounds to upholding the country's security and dignity. Furthermore, sir, our capability enhancements for sea lift operations have led to the transporting nearly 6,000 military personnel and over 1,700 civilians, as well as over 3.2 million tons of military supplies and equipment, and over 200,000 tons of civilian cargoes, allowing us to mobilize and deploy manned machine to reach even the most remote and hard port areas of our beloved country. During the most challenging periods in our country's history, we in the Philippine Navy have served as contingency backbone for logistics and communications of the armed forces. Case in point, apart from carrying needed aid, personnel, and assets, our deployable communications vehicles augmented information sharing and transmission when the 6.9 magnitude earthquake hit Bogo, Cebu last year, or when Mount Canlaon entered a level 2 eruption phase. The swift deployment of equipment and personnel inland is a mission we regard with utmost importance. Our partner government agencies can continue to rely on us as we steadily enhance both our responsiveness and state of readiness for whatever challenges nature may bring. That said, investments in training, particularly in strengthening interoperability with our brothers and sisters in arms within the AFP and with our foreign counterparts, have not only continued, but have also expanded significantly. Beyond Balikatan, I am pleased to report our Pagsisikap, Pagsasama 2025 exercise focused on new capability and interoperability enhancements, most particularly in terms of surface warfare engagements, anti-submarine warfare, electronic warfare, and air defense. This comes in line with the implementation of the Kamandag exercise, which saw as we rehearsed integrated air and missile defense capabilities and spoke NOD operations. With our strategic partners, we conducted MASA 2026 to demonstrate bilateral joint fires, kill chain integration, and command post operations, all alongside our air missile defense system capabilities. Meanwhile, joint operations with other AFP units will further strengthen maritime patrol efforts, enabling coverage of at least an additional 120,000 nautical miles of our national territory to enhance security, protect national interests, and ensure a more sustained presence in our territorial waters. Mr. President, what does all of this mean for the Filipino people? Simply put, under your leadership, these investments in training, capability enhancement, modernization, and mission-critical initiatives reflect your steadfast commitment to placing the welfare of our countrymen at the forefront of your governance agenda. They demonstrate your unwavering support for the men and women of the armed forces as you lead our nation toward a stronger and more secure future, and your firm resolve to uphold and defend our national dignity through every challenge and circumstance. The Navy stands as the most unique branch of our armed forces. We cover not just the seas, not just its surface, but that which is beneath it. We are the first to beach the shores with our Marines. We help watch our skies as naval aviators, and we are faithful guardians at the very farthest frontiers and outposts of our country. Despite current challenges, our strategic goal as the Philippine Navy leads to improving our maritime security for national sovereignty and ultimately for economic stability. By addressing territorial defense, maritime domain awareness, and emerging threats and evolving security environment, we contribute to the great mission of nation building. That said, as Flag Officer in Command, I call on every member of the Philippine Navy to recommit ourselves to giving our best towards our continued modernization and capability development by demonstrating professional excellence, hard work, self-innovation in every aspect of our Navy life. My call is one of service and professional unity. We must reinforce the core values of honor, duty, and patriotism, encourage respect and camaraderie across all ranks and sectors, and inspire even more men and women to step up and serve with integrity and dedication. This much you can all expect from this command. This is my reaffirmation, the Navy's commitment to the Filipino people. Mr. President, as I reflect in my capacity as the incumbent flag officer in command of the Navy, from our modest beginning as a small revolutionary force, confronting a far more formidable colonial armada, to a service that is now steadily evolving into a modern and truly capable Navy, I can proudly say that we have set the sails of progress and peace toward a nation that every sailor, Marine, special operator, naval aviator, and soldier would be even more honored to defend. It is therefore my personal dream and professional hope to see more men and women choose to join the Philippine Fleet and the Philippine Marine Corps. Dahil alam ko, randam ko, at batid ko na ngayon, higit kailanman, ay mas mahanda ang hukbong dagat na pangalagaan at protektahan ang ating mga karagatan, ang ating bayan, at higit sa lahat ang ating mamamayan. Ang lahat ng ating pinagsamang pagsisikap, pagbabantay, pagmamalasakit at pagtutulungan ay nakatuon sa isang layunin. Para sa bayan, para sa ating karagatan, at para sa mas magandang kinabukasan ng sambayanan. Sa pagdiriwang ng anniversary ng ating Philippine Navy, alay ko sa bawat isang mandaragat, mandirigma at sa lahat ng kasapi ng ating hukbo ng Pilipinas, ang isang snappy salute, taos-pusong Bravo Zulu, at sa matikas na huya at hura. Maraming salamat po, mabuhay hukbong dagat ng Pilipinas, mabuhay ang ating sandatahang lakas, mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Once again, happy anniversary po sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Vice Admiral Espeleta, sir.
May we invite everyone to direct your attention to the screens in front of you for the Philippine Navy Anniversary Audio Visual Presentation.
Truly, we have come a long way.
A nation of islands begins and ends with the sea, where our story is shaped. And through generations, duty has been carried with the waters by those who stand up with resolve. For 128 years, that responsibility continues, guided by purpose and unwavering commitment to protect what is ours. Security begins with presence, constant and deliberate. And as operations unfold across vast span distances, where timing and professionalism define every move. Measured in action, yet firm in response, the Philippine Navy stands ready.
Sa kabila ng tensyon sa ating rehiyon, nananatiling matatag ang ating hukbong dagat. We stand firm. We will never tolerate any act of disrespect against our sovereignty.
Strategies guide every movement across the maritime domain, while vigilance continues from coastline to open sea. Service extends to communities connected by the sea. Response operations shift quickly when lives are at risk.
The Navy personnel serve as peacekeepers both in land and in sea.
Support reaches areas where it is needed most. Through multilateral maritime cooperative activities, the Philippine Navy continues to grow. Engagements with partners, both local and international, strengthen cooperation. Capability develops through discipline and direction. Training and systems align with operational demands. Equipping forces to navigate and counter threats in cognitive warfare.
A Philippine Navy that is modernizing, that is evolving, and is ready to conduct more complex and effective operations in promoting the country's national interest.
New capabilities enter service with defined roles. Guided missile frigates enhance operational strength. Offshore patrol vessels expand maritime coverage. Each addition supports sustained presence and strength of our fleet. Responsibility continues across generations.
You are guardians of our people.
This is your Philippine Navy. Modern and ready, strong and steady. Credible in mission, always mission ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to 128 years of honorable service of our Philippine Navy.
We shall now proceed with the presentation of awards.
Awards are manifestations of tangible achievements of individuals and organizations. Today, the Philippine Navy gives due recognition to the following in giving pride to the Team Navy.
The President will present the awards. He will be assisted by the Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the Flag Officer in Command, Philippine Navy.
The Gold Cross Medal is conferred on Major Jason C. Mantil, Officer-141105, Philippine Navy Marines. For his gallantry in action while serving as case officer of the Military Intelligence Group 12, Intelligence Service of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, during an armed encounter against more than 60 Islamic State-inspired group in the vicinity of Sultan Barungis, Maguindanao on 22 December 2018.
The Bronze Cross Medal is conferred on Underwater Operator 3rd Class, Marverick B. Credo 910201, Philippine Navy. While serving as a member of the Naval Special Operations Unit 7 during the conduct of anti-smuggling activities in the vicinity waters of Tibungco, Davao City on 10 to 11 February 2025.
The Philippine Navy Enlisted Personnel of the Year 2026 is awarded to Intelligence Specialist 2nd Class Redentor C. de los Santos, 895770, Philippine Navy. He is designated as the Petty Officer in Charge, Naval Intelligence Security Unit 15, Naval Intelligence Security Force.
The Philippine Navy Civilian Human Resource of the Year 2026 Supervisor category is awarded to Attorney Crizel D. Rabino 8147 Civilian Human Resource. She is designated as the Field Accountant, Naval Logistics Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause to all our awardees. Congratulations to each and every one. May we request the National Security Advisor, Eduardo Oban Jr., to introduce our guest of honor and speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you to our National Security Advisor, Ed Oban Jr. Please be seated. The Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces and of the Philippines, General Romeo Browner Jr., and other service commanders, Philippine Navy Flag Officer in Command, Vice Admiral Jose Maria Ambrosio Espeleta, Philippine Coast Guard Commandant Admiral Ronnie Hill Gavan, members of the Foreign Armed Forces attaches, officers and personnel from the Philippine Navy, other distinguished guests, my fellow workers in government, ladies and gentlemen, a good day to you all. Today, we gather to celebrate 128 years of the Philippine Navy at a time when many of our fellow Filipinos are facing the aftermath of the strong earthquake that struck parts of Mindanao yesterday. In these critical moments, we witness the enduring commitment of the Philippine Navy to protect and to serve the Filipino people. Following the earthquake, Naval Forces Eastern Mindanao immediately activated its disaster response mechanisms and placed its rescue team on heightened alert for emergency response and humanitarian assistance operations. For over a century, the Philippine Navy has stood watch over our waters, defending our sovereignty and protecting our people. It continues to do so amidst evolving security challenges that require even greater vigilance. Strengthening the Philippine Navy's capabilities remains essential to protecting our interests in the West Philippine Sea in light of the broader realities of our time. Rapid economic and political developments in the 21st century have reshaped global growth and placed the Indo-Pacific region at the geopolitical and economic center of gravity. The seas around us are arenas of competition and of conflict. Global instability, shifting alliances, and emerging threats demand that we maintain a resilient maritime defense posture. In this environment, a credible Philippine Navy is indispensable to regional peace. Thus, I have directed the Philippine Navy to further strengthen its capabilities. The DND-AFP was also tasked to further expand and deepen partnerships, exchanges, and interactions with allies and friendly forces. Through the modernization of the Navy, we are safeguarding our economic lifelines, protecting our people, and enhancing our ability to contribute to security and cooperation in our region. This administration likewise believes that our greatest asset is our people. We continue to conduct training courses to ensure that our sailors have the tools, the information, and protection that will help them carry out their missions effectively. And today, we witness the fruit of our efforts to modernize this institution. It is my honor to lead the commissioning of the BRP Rajah Lakandula, named after Rajah Lakandula, one of the leaders of pre-colonial Manila. This vessel carries forward a legacy of courage, leadership, and devotion to country. Truly, this is a pivotal step towards realizing the Navy's vision of a modern and self-reliant force. This vessel enhances our capacity to safeguard our resources and assert our sovereignty. To the crew of the ship, may you sail her with pride and let the world know that the Filipino spirit will never be intimidated. The dedication and service of the men and women of the Philippine Navy mean that our communities can sleep peacefully at night. It means that our fisherfolk can sail further with confidence. It also means that the global community will see that our country is a credible and formidable anchor of peace and of international law. So, I thank you for always keeping our flag flying high even above the roughest waters. For your unwavering loyalty in the face of the storm, I say this: Bravo Zulu, job well done to you all. I also congratulate our exemplary awardees for going the extra nautical mile to serve our country. May your example inspire others in your ranks to always put your country above all else, especially when the seas are turbulent. Sa inyong pagbabantay sa ating karagatan, tangan ninyo hindi lamang ang watawat ng Pilipinas, kundi pati na rin ang tiwala at pag-asa ng sambayanang Pilipino. As your Commander-in-Chief, I recognize the sacrifices that you and your families make in the service of our nation. Be assured that your government remains committed to supporting your welfare and ensuring that you are equipped to carry out your mission. Once again, a happy 128th anniversary to you all. Together, let us continue to weather any crisis and chart a course towards a progressive and sovereign bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat. Mabuhay ang hukbong dagat ng Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
Thank you, Mr. President. May we request the President to kindly remain on stage for the presentation of memento.
The Flag Officer in Command, Philippine Navy Vice Admiral Jose Ma Ambrosio Q.S. Paleta, will now present a memento to His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
The ship's bell, long regarded as the voice of command at sea, signifies a command that sets all actions into motion. May we request the President to grant us a photo opportunity. May we request the audience to gather at the center. Once again, may we request the audience to gather at the center. Thank you. Ready? At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Mr. President, for granting us a photo opportunity.
Please remain standing for the exit of the official party.